Ladies and gentlemen, it's December, which means it's the perfect time to gift your friends and loved ones with some Zoids. And I'll be showing you guys exactly how to do that. So I found some really great sites that have some great in stock, and we have some new photographs of some of the new prototype HMMs that have been announced over the previous few months that I think you guys are going to like. Unfortunately, none of those are available for pre-order yet, and for some reason the English localization of the Zoids Wild kits we've been talking about over the past few months did not meet their December deadline for launch. So they will not be available for Christmas, which seems like a pretty huge mistake for a toy company like Hasbro to do. You'd think they'd want to release them before Christmas to get them in for that crucial gift giving time, especially when you consider that the anime technically aired back in the summer. So I don't really understand why that was the case, but here we are with the release date of February. So in the meantime, as far as my own collection goes, so I don't know if I showed it off, but the Abominable Snowman himself, the Iron Kong Yeti, came in, as well as the Wild Liger, and then I managed to snag one of the Red Horn reissues, and I'm actually ordering that from Nin Nin Games, so we'll see how reliable their site is. And then the Burning Liger from Zoids Wild Senki finally came in, and I built that immediately, as well as the Gravity Cannon customized part set from Zoids Wild Zero, and I played around with some of the different weapon combinations and kind of put them on the Burning Liger as sort of an experiment there, so it all looks really good. And so we're going to go ahead and get into this month's Market Watch, and this will be the last one for 2020. We'll see you guys in January with hopefully pre-orders available for some of these new HMM kits.
Okay, so first things first, we have some great new photos of the HMM Liger Zero X attachment modular armor CAS system thing, and the texture on the plastic here does still look a little bit rough because this is just a prototype, but I'm assuming it'll be smoothed out on the final product, of course. But yeah, these great new photos came out recently, and it looks to me that what you see here in gray is all there is to it in terms of the Zero X armor attachment. Nothing on the legs. It should just be the regular Empire Liger stuff on the legs. But this just looks absolutely insane. You can see what I was talking about there with the texture on the plastic there. I like the way the weapon flips forward because it looks like it has a point of articulation right here where the mouse is, and then again back here for the weapon to actually flip forward. So it has a similar range of articulation as the Blade Liger blades, and then you get this thing back here where it had the cylinders that would rotate. And then I'm not sure how this is going to flip up and reveal these things, or if these little fins are going to be articulated as well. And I also don't know if this black panel right here is going to be translucent on the final version like it was on the motorized version, but I have a feeling that it is. Yeah, this thing just looks absolutely insane. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to pre-order this as soon as it goes up. We also got some great new photos of the Rev Raptor and Raven Raptor, so we have confirmation, finally, after all this time, that the way they're going to release this, as I've commented on before, there's a couple different ways they could go about this. And so what they're doing is essentially the same thing as the Cannon Tortoise and Buster Tortoise, where they have, this is the standard Rev Raptor, which will be in the red color scheme you guys are familiar with. I'm also not crazy about this seam right here where the blades connect. That looks a little bit rough, but there may be some ways to improve upon that. And then we'll have the Raven Raptor with the pile banker in the black slash sort of the sort of black blue color. And the pile banker just looks amazing as well. I'm not sure if the standard version will come with that, and it's like an optional piece similar to like the Godos, where just depending on which pieces you equip, you can have either version, like that kind of thing, or if the pile banker will be exclusive with the Raven Raptor version. All I know is I'm going to try to get both because these are small Zoids, they don't take up a lot of space. And I've been wanting to talk about the Rev Raptor in a video for quite a while. This is a pretty highly anticipated HMM, and the wind-up version of the Rev Raptor was actually the very, very first Zoid that my brother actually got when we were kids. And so I had a lot of hands-on experience with it, with the wind-up version as a kid, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the HMM version turns out. But yeah, it looks absolutely insane. One of the things that I thought was really funny about the Pile Banker is it looks very reminiscent of a maybe like a sort of a modern heavy machine gun type weapon with the carry handle there, and then it's got a magazine back here, like it's got a banana clip magazine, and I'm like, what's the purpose of that? Because it's a melee weapon that cocks backward and springs forward with this stabbing electrified lance here that's supposed to puncture and penetrate through larger Zoid targets and infrastructure to break into bases and that kind of thing. So it has a function that's pretty easy to get behind, but it wouldn't require ammo. It's not a projectile weapon. So it was kind of a funny little detail. I thought it looks really cool. But a funny detail nonetheless. So Rev Raptor looks fantastic. We also got some new photos of the Fang Tiger HMM. Again, the pilot looks fantastic. The whole sculpt looks really, really good. They've done wonders with the proportions on the HMM Wild Zoids, as I complained about when we initially reviewed those. Although the one thing I feel like they could have done way better on is this tail here. This tail is still really, really short and really, really dinky and simple. And I just feel like that's a wasted opportunity. I mean, I can tell that each one of these sections has its own point of articulation, which is pretty cool. But they didn't really do a whole lot to improve upon the bad visual design that creates. But the weapon flip forward, that looks really insane. And just the whole sculpt of the head and the mouth, it's got a little gun underneath there. Speaking of which, one quick thing I wanted to point out is these demo photos for the prototypes have stands. And if you look back at the Rev Raptor here, it's got a stand, and I honestly don't know if the Rev Raptor is going to be able to stand on those tiny little feet very well. The Raven Raptor seems to be doing it quite here, and I'm hoping that the tail is going to kind of help counterbalance it, and maybe it will be okay. But speaking of the HMM Liger Zero X, we actually figured out how they're going to be releasing this, and I speculated this on a couple of previous videos. I said there's a possibility they could do an HMM Liger Zero X that's the full size HMM kit, where you build the entire body as well as the armor in one kit, or they could release just the armor as the standalone customized parts kit cast system thing, and it seems like that's what they're going to go for, and we can confirm that with this. So we have the HMM Liger Zero Empire Markings Plus version. It was announced at that Hobby Fest this past week or something like that. Sorry these photos are so stretched out. That's the Facebook layout for you. But yeah, so I am extremely grateful for this. Now, with these other photos here, these were photos taken sort of in private of the prototypes for promotional purposes, but these were actually photos of the display at the hobby show. So the photos of these prototypes from that show are not as good, which is why I used those and why I'm using this one, because that's what's available. But anyway, this looks fantastic. I'm super glad that they're doing this, because if you guys remember, the Empire Liger Zero HMM was a Koto store exclusive and instantly got sold out, became extremely rare, and I completely gave up on finding one. I thought that if I was going to get any HMM Liger Zero, it would be that one. But I ended up getting the bog standard HMM Liger Zero because I found it already pre-built at Second and Charles, and that was the review that I did of that. And then finding this, available online, that they're going to go back and do this, I think is really cool, because it'll be a wide release. Everybody will have access to it, and I'll actually be able to have the body with which we will build the Liger Zero X armor onto, and I'll be able to do a side-by-side comparison between the motorized version and the HMM version, because I managed to track that down. Although I haven't actually built the Empire Liger pieces for the motorized version, I went straight for the Liger Zero X pieces when I built that. So I haven't even snapped this armor out of the runners yet on the motorized version, but we will do a side-by-side comparison eventually. So there was another new Zoid announced, and I don't know what this guy is called. This is another Zoid for Zoids Wild Senki, and I've got to be honest, this guy is ugly. Like, this may actually be the ugliest Zoid I've seen since, like, the Blocks era. Like, this thing is hideous. And I hate to say it, because credit where it's due, one of the things that's really impressive about these Zoids Wild Senki Zoids, which technically this is the first one other than the Burning Liger to be a brand new mold and a brand new sculpt, is that there is a ton, an absolute ton of molded in detail up here, like right down here on the neck and down here on the legs, and that's really impressive. But just the overall aesthetic of it is just terrible. Like, you have these dinky little arms that have no points of articulation at all. The proportions, the scale looks awkward. It's got that same Gatling gun thing that the Burning Liger does, but with this little projectile thing up here. And the color scheme is okay. They're actually going to be releasing 2 customized parts, weapon kits, one in red for the Burning Liger, one in blue for this thing. And the one thing I will say is that does seem to be the gimmick they're going for with Zoids Wild Senki, at least from the model kit standpoint, is the customizability with the kits. And we saw in the little anime thing, I talked about that anime a little bit more on the last Wild Blast stream, where I said that it doesn't really look like they're going for a full anime series with Senki, and so we don't really know what they're doing with Senki. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It looks like they're just doing 3 to 5 minute little snippets, and in those little 3 to 5 minute snippets, we saw various Burning Ligers, like a whole squad of them, outfitted with different combinations of weapons. And I actually recently bought the gravity cannon unit from Zoids Wild Zero customized parts kit. And the one thing I will say about the Burning Liger, as well as this guy, in its favor, is that the pegs with which those weapons attach with are very small and not intrusive at all. Like, they're very subtle, and I like that a lot. But overall, this guy is absolutely hideous, and I have no plans on buying him. One last thing was announced that was pretty cool. So we have this is on the actual Koto site, and I'm not sure if this Zoid is going to be a Koto exclusive or not, but as far as I could tell, I read up on this a little bit, but translations and stuff like that, I'm sure I'm going to misspeak when I describe what this is. But as far as I could tell, this was like a fan project where someone had gone and custom painted the HMM Saber Tiger to look like sort of a prototype trial run version of the Saber Tiger, similar to like the Lightning Sykes thing we have in Battle Legends. It's like the prototype colors. This is sort of the same thing in concept, where it's like an unfinished Saber Tiger, I guess you could say. And so in the photos here, you can see it has the standard Saber Tiger red, as well as a lot of pieces that are replaced with this black. And I can see why someone would like this. Personally, I am not crazy about this color scheme. I think it's actually really ugly, and I will not be picking this guy up. Some of these shots don't have all the weapons equipped. These are the rest of the weapons that go on the side here under the triple barrel shot cannon and back here to get this thing fully loaded out, and then guns on the tail. And this one shows the regular red pieces here. So this is what the regular HMM Saber Tiger, the red version, normally looks like, and there it is with the black armor. I mean, it's really cool in concept. If it is a Koto store exclusive, you can guarantee that it will be very expensive and bought out almost right away. So definitely keep an eye on that if you want to get your hands on it. But personally, I don't find it all that appealing, so I think I'm going to be skipping on this guy. Ami, nothing really new as of right now. So, if I didn't mention before, Panzer Armor is getting a reissue as well. So if you wanted to just buy the armor, the cast armors as a standalone thing, you can do that. They've added this special package you can get for Zoids Infinity Blast with a little gift bag, which is pretty cool. That is a brand new thing, which, I mean, it's whatever. It's cute that Ami is doing this, but it's really not all that special. Go Raptor LC is gone. Wild Liger HMM is still in stock. Red Horn. The Genobreaker is now officially out. People have their hands on it, and it does look incredible. Again, this is the third time we've had an HMM Genobreaker. The first time was a generic version. The second time was the Raven version, and this one is technically a generic version, but it's canonically the one that belongs to the character Ritz from the battle story, and so the artwork on the box depicts that, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. You can still pre-order the Iron Kong PK. Again, nothing really special there. None of the kits we just talked about are available for pre-order yet. I wouldn't be surprised if the HMM Liger Zero Empire Markings Plus version goes up for pre-order pretty soon, because at least we know that kit is in a finished state, because it's just a reissue of a previously existing kit. Whereas because the Fang Tiger and the Rev Raptor and the Liger Zero X are still in prototype stages, I would not expect those to go up very soon. Again, nothing really new here. The weapon sets are sold out. I mean, really, most of everything is sold out past page 1, so nothing really here on AmiAmi. But we also do not have any new photos of the HMM Death Rex and HMM Gill Raptor. Those were announced, but we don't have any photos of them yet. So hold your horses on that one. So these are the two weapon systems I was talking about. This red one is for the Burning Liger, and this blue one is for that other really ugly Zoid that we talked about. These are pretty cool, and it shows pictures of them equipped to like the Zero Greasus and stuff like that. And it seems like there's a lot of different modes you can go with. Like there's a melee mode, and there's different types of range modes. It looks like there's a jousting mode or something crazy there. Like it's pretty cool if I'm being honest. But again, I don't really recommend it. Again, all the Liger Zero armor upgrades are still available for pre-order on this site. The Red Horn is sold out. Not surprised there. Genobreaker is sold out as well. They say it will come back, but I find that incredibly unreliable. I wouldn't expect it to come back at all. The Wild Liger is just so expensive here. I mean, I guess that's a fair enough price, but also if you guys haven't picked up the Gojulus Cannon set HMM customized parts kit, you may want to go ahead and do that. The D-Bison is still in stock, and it's expensive. I really, really just want to bite the bullet and buy the HMM D-Bison while it's still around, because I feel like I'm going to regret it later, but right now I just don't have the time and the money to justify it. But yeah, unfortunately, this looked like it was going to be a really exciting month because all those brand new kits were really shown off, but they're not available for pre-order yet, so not really a whole lot to talk about on the market side there. Ninden Games has a reissue of the Berserk Fury available for pre-order, as well as you can still get the armor sets. You can get the full the full Schneider and Panzer and the Iron Kong PK. The regular Saber Tiger, that's a good price for that. Still available for pre-order if you wanted to pick that up. The Gun Sniper with the Wild Weasel unit is still available for pre-order. That's a good price. This is still one of the only places that has the Wild Liger Guren, and it's still in stock as well. Surprisingly enough, they also still have the Death Stinger in stock, which of course is still a pre-order. It hasn't shipped out yet, and that's not a terrible price for that. I mean, the Death Stinger is a lot, but it's not nearly as much as like the Gojulus, the Ogre, or something crazy like that. Their D-Bison is pretty expensive, not gonna lie, and then their Red Horn is also a little bit expensive. But this is actually where I actually managed to snag a Red Horn, and I got it off of this site because I combined my order with some other things I order, which I'll show off when that comes in. And they actually still have the Hagane Works Blade Liger, which nobody has that right now. So if you still want to try to pick up the Hagane Works Blade Liger, it's out there. And if anyone has gotten their hands on this thing, definitely show me what it's like, because as far as I can tell, it's supposed to be like a figure, like an articulated figure. It's not a model kit that you build, but I could be wrong there. They still have their Genobreaker. It's not a bad price for that. Their Wild Liger is pretty affordable. And they still have their Lightning Sykes. It's way too much for the Iron Kong Yeti. And they still have both variants of their Mulgas. They also, surprisingly enough, they still have the Sturm Tyranno in stock. 130 is a lot for that, but this guy's going to be it's going to be a long time before we see this guy come back, so you may want to invest in that potentially. I decided I was not going to get the HMM Darkhorn because I managed to snag the Red Horn, and I have an older printing of this right here, the Beam Gatling Unit customized parts set. So whatever this set does to make the Darkhorn look like how it does, I can just do that same thing to the Red Horn and have a stock Red Horn review, and then have a Beam Gatling Unit review as well. So also there's two different versions of the Darkhorn on here. This is an older one. This is the pre-order that's up right now, and that's a pretty good price for that. I would definitely recommend. I don't know why that's cheaper than the Red Horn, considering that it's got more crap on it. It's basically this plus this, so it should be more expensive, right? Anyway, I digress. Plaza Japan, a site that I'm going to try to use and justify the credibility of, but they have a pretty good selection overall right now. So they still have the Genobreaker as well, and I get to finally talk about this box art. So both of the new Blade Liger Attack with Attack Boosters 2020 version and the Genobreaker repackaged version have a box art that ties into the same storyline essentially, and actually the box art for the HMM Death Stinger also ties into it. And so this is a reference to a battle in the battle story where the Death Stinger emerges up out of the ground, and I'd had it memorized. I don't remember the name of the pilot that piloted this Blade Liger, and I forgot it. I'll have to look it up or something. I'll remember by the time I review this guy. But yeah, so the Blade Liger and Ritz with the Genobreaker team up to take on the Death Stinger, and the Death Stinger actually manages to destroy the Blade Liger with the charged particle beam. Of course, this shot shows him avoiding it, but later on in the fight gets taken out by it. So in this box art, you can see the Genobreaker in the background, and in this art, you can see the destroyed Blade Liger in the background. The Genobreaker is missing one of its claw shield arm things on the side. It's completely missing and only has one left, and it managed to pick up one of the blades off of the Blade Liger and pierce the Death Stinger through the head with it. And you can see the pilot on the ground there is the pilot from the Blade Liger, Captain whatever his name is, and I'll have to look it up. But yeah, so these are all in stock, which is pretty cool. Good price for the Command Wolf. Definitely pick that up if you guys don't have one already. Great price for both of these two, for Saber Tiger and for Lightning Sykes. Great price. It threw me off a little bit that the regular Saber Tiger has the same size box as the Lightning Sykes and the Command Wolf and the Shadow Fox. I thought it would have this big full-size box here. But then I realized, okay, well, the Great Saber has, which is the one I have, has a lot more junk in it. So I guess that's why it has the big full-size box instead of the slightly smaller one like that. Yeah, all this stuff is still available. Wild Liger, a little bit too expensive, but it is there. Great price on the Terrace Bomber. That's a pretty cheap beam Gatling unit set as well. And then these guys still in stock. Great price for that. Again, really can't complain. They have a pretty good selection when we get to the stuff that's sold out down here. So none of this stuff is ever going to be available again. But yeah, they honestly have a pretty good selection. And they're one of the places that has the D-Bison that is sold out. I just showed there. So yeah, there you go. There's the Death Stinger, like I was talking about. That's the artwork of when it initially comes up out of the ground and enters that fight. And so this box art ties into the box art of the other two that I talked about. But yeah, everything up here is in stock. I like that the site sorts it that way. So maybe I will test the credibility of this site by ordering the Genobreaker. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, they really do have a great selection right now. So moving on to the U.S. Western release of the Zoids Wild kits. So here on the official Hasbro Pulse online store, we have the Zoids Wild Mega Battlers is what they're going to be called, Wave 1, which is only 9 different Zoids. So Hasbro likes to do this with a lot of their products, including with Transformers and things like that, where they may split them up into separate waves. And so Wave 1 here is these 9 Zoids. It is the small $10 ones is going to be Needle, the Scorpion one, Raptorix, which is the Raptor one that's basically cannon fodder from the series, and Phobia, which is the spider one we see here, which I'm actually a little bit curious about because I never really saw this thing available for too often in Japan. And then the other one that's $10 is called Pincers, which is the Kawago one that I've already reviewed. But a lot of people were thinking that these were going to be inherently different than their Japanese counterparts. And I see no evidence to support that. Someone was saying, oh, they're going to be, like action figures. They're going to be dumbed down versions of the already simple Wild kits. And I'm like, no, they're really not. I mean, I see no evidence for that. Even with the packaging we've seen of the Zoids Wild American kits, you can still see the loose pieces inside the translucent box. The only thing that appears to be different is some potential recoloring Maybe it was due to retooling it, some manufacturing, because like the Wild Liger I can definitely tell is a slightly different color, and then this yellow seems to be a little bit different as well. They seem like they're slightly recolored maybe, and then the obvious change of the entirely new molds to feature the anime characters as the pilots instead of just the generic translucent pilot, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's wave 1. You can pre-order it now. I'm going to actually just click into one just to see what that process is like and when they're going to release. So evidently, according to the official Hasbro Pulse site, these will ship out in February. So I'm a little bit concerned about that because they do sort of miss that special time window of Christmas time, and they have no one to blame but themselves for that. But yeah, you can see right here the translucent packaging. You can see the pieces on the inside there. So I'm assuming they'll open at the top and they'll slide out a tray with all those pieces on it, and it will be super easy to put together, just like the and actually you can just compare right here, like see how many pieces that is. It's 33 pieces, right? How many pieces was the Japanese version? And there you go. That's how you find out if they're the same. Of course, time will tell. And then finally, I wanted to show off Big Bad Toy Store, which is a place a lot of people order from. A lot of Transformers collectors and Star Wars collectors order from them, and they have the Zoids Wild line on there as well. And you can get some of them in bulk, sort of, so you can get the figures all together, which is a pretty cool way of doing it. So they have a slight markup, which is somewhat reasonable considering they usually always have everything in stock, and they've got all the same stuff on here. So you might be able to order them on Amazon as well or something like that, who knows, but like you can definitely order the upcoming Zoids Wild kits on either the first party Hasbro site or right here on Big Bad Toy Store. And Big Bad Toy Store also has the only HMM they appear to have is the D-Bison, which is pretty cool because I did talk about wanting that, but it's expensive. It's way overpriced on their site, so I would not recommend that. All their other HMMs are sold out, and there's actually some interesting things here on this site that are listed that I don't really know what they are. So they're Japanese Zoids Wild kits because they are in Wild Kits because it's ZW and of course the logo here. So Xenox Caesar's model kit, I have no idea what that is. Xeno Rex, again, no idea. Xeno Evolution, Xeno Warrior, I have no idea what any of these things are, but they're new kits apparently coming out. I don't know what this is yet, so we'll have to see about that. On to eBay! I wanted to look for the Seismosaurus, and it's expensive. So there's an auction going on right here for one that right now is only $27 with shipping, and it's got 5 days left. That's not going to stay that price, and even so, I'm a little suspicious of this image. Yeah, I don't trust that one bit. But we have the white version right here, and there's also this black version, which is part of I think the Genesis line, and it has a lot more like cool weapons and stuff on it. But roughly what we're looking at right here is about $250, $300. Yeah, it's a shame. And right here we have one that's buy it now. What did I just see here? Yeah, buy it now. $200 with $50 shipping. Same thing right here. $200, $50 shipping, roughly speaking. So that's about what you're looking at right there for the Seismosaurus. Overall, not the worst thing in the world, but I'm not crazy about it. There's also not many of them, which does make sense. Mad Thunder. So, God, Mad Thunder may take the cake as the rarest Zoid out there right now that I can think of. I haven't looked for the King Gojless in a while, but someone out there has taken a old or scrapped Mad Thunder and is just piecing this thing out, and they're selling each individual piece for an obscene amount of money. Like one piece right here, $70, and you can go fuck yourself with that shipping. That's ridiculous. You can go. I don't want to click on it. I want to give you the view. Fuck off. This is absolutely ridiculous. So this guy's clearly just parting one out and charging out the ass for these individual pieces. So yeah, and that's literally it. Is just this one guy selling out all these individual pieces and these two right here. So, and actually, okay, yeah. So I thought it was crazy there because I thought this one went up, but this one right here. So free shipping, unassembled, and this is actually NJR. This is not vintage. This is like 1999, $1,200 roughly. So that's what you're looking at for Mad Thunder. So, yep, forget about that. I quickly wanted to look at HMM Buster Taurus. I think I've looked at this before because this is one that was out earlier this year that I missed out. I don't know if you can hear the cat screaming in the background. But roughly, I mean, here's $70 roughly because some of these have high shipping. Not worth it. I would not pay that. I think there's a few people that reserved these that ended up either not wanting them or not being able to pay for them. And so there was a few people selling them on the Zoids Collectors group that you may be able to get them off of. This is just ridiculous, though. I would never pay these prices. And then lastly, I wanted to look at Zoids Infinity Blast. The version that comes with the blue Rising Liger. What is it actually called here? In Rising Liger Infinity Blue, I guess is what it's called. But yeah, so sure enough, just like we thought, just like the Shield Liger that came with Zoids Versus 2, the Desert Liger got bought out immediately, or the clear Blade Liger HMM that came with the 20th anniversary Blu-ray or whatever it was. Yeah, it's just, these are just ridiculous. I would never pay this. And then also some of these are really misleading. Like this right here, just the game itself, which is still in stock on AmiAmi and HLJ for like $50. You're trying to charge almost $170. That is ridiculous. You're adding $90 to the price for no reason if it's just the game itself. But yeah, right here, $200 with $30 shipping. Forget about it. Just forget about it. Like, someone is selling just the cannons somewhere down. Yeah, just the cannons for $80 when you combine it with shipping. Get the hell out of here. I'm almost tempted to just stop looking on eBay for this stuff because everyone is just marking everything up, and I have absolutely no idea why. Nobody should pay any of these prices. So that's my salt for this month. But anyway, go monitor AmiAmi and HLJ and pre-order those new kits we talked about. That's pretty much the only thing exciting I can say. And definitely grab yourself a Genobreaker while you can, because those are going to be gone soon as well. I may deeply regret not ordering one. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time in 2021. Do you guys miss the gaming content I used to do on this channel? Did you guys know this is actually my second channel? My wife Michelle and I over on the primary Star-Crossed Souls channel do gaming content as well as content about conventions and cosplay and some of the niche fandoms we're into, such as Fire Emblem, Fate, and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm also doing a retrospective series on the entire Type Moon series and all of the Fate works. It's a series I'm very proud of and has the highest amount of editing and production quality in anything I've ever done in my entire career of making videos. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, make sure to follow us on the main Star-Crossed Souls channel and follow Michelle and I on Instagram for her art projects and my cosplay projects. I'll see you guys next time.